What a rough couple of weeks we've had in the cryptocurrency market, but it's time to pick ourselves up and get ready for what is about to happen, because I think that we are on the verge of massive volatility and my bias is leading towards. Now, with that said, today we're going to go through what I think is happening short-term, long-term for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and we're going to be going through Solana, my $100,000 trade, and a massive price prediction that you guys are not going to want to miss. It's a very interesting video, but before we do that, let's just check out the YouTube DCA portfolio. Very nice amount of profit today. We did do what I always do when the market gets bloody, is I add to these bags, because that is the whole point of these DCA portfolios. I show you guys in real time what I do in this market in my own personal portfolios. These portfolios that we see here right now are at $35,000, and they are solely being built to show you guys what I do in this market. Dollar cost averaging in, and I will be dollar cost averaging out. So if you want to stay on that journey, all you have to do is smash that subscribe button. And just yesterday, we bought ourselves Jasmy, which is up almost 6% today, 2% in the last hour. We bought some ICP, and we also bought Ethereum. This is a project that I've seen incredible amounts of excitement around from the community, and that's why I added it. You guys are welcome to do your research into any of those. We also added Tau, and I'm going to continue to add this to this portfolio. And just look at this. Even with the pullbacks that we've been having, the scary market, we are up over 100%, and all we've done is slowly dollar cost average into the market over time. Now, like I said, the overall market is up 0.5% today. We got Bitcoin giving us some nice moves here, all right? We can be grateful. In the last hour, it's up almost 0.5%. Ethereum is doing okay. Solana up 1% overnight, which is finally what I want to see. As you know, I have this $100,000 Solana position that I opened here on the channel. Now, I've been very careful with this position. Every time we push upwards, I do tend to move my stop loss into a place that won't lose me too much money if we have a big sell-off, because we did start these positions up here, and then every time we drop down, I got stopped out. I've lost a very small amount of money because of how tight my stop was, but now what this has done has positioned me, if this massive symmetrical triangle plays out, which I don't know if it will, but if it does, we're going to make a lot of money on this trade. And obviously down here at around the 139 is a point that if we drop down there, we may have missed out on this opportunity, and Solana may actually fall lower. Now, if we put this in, if it does do something like this, that's when I'll be pretty scared of this move. But what I was doing when Solana and everyone was panicking about it, I was actually watching this number very closely, 13829. That is the recent low that we saw, and in fact, we didn't break that. So hopefully the next move that we're going to see is a push up to here. Now, this is going to be an opportunity if we do reach that region of around 164. Maybe it's a profit taking, or maybe you want to move and wait for this move, because this is the one that we want. This is the massive move to break old all-time highs, which I'm waiting for. But this trade that I'm in right now, potential of a 13% move without even breaking the resistance, which would be $13,000 on this trade. You can see we're in about a 5 Solana gain right now. And if you guys do want access to some completely free trades, so this is the Margex trading group that we have in my free Discord, and we've been seeing some really good opportunities here. It's in-depth trading analysis here. You get in your stops, your targets, and the risks, and the technical and the fundamental. So if you want free access to this, we actually have made some decent profit. Right now we got 37% profit in our CRV trade, but we also just made another 90% profit in TON, and this is something that you can get completely free access to if you want to, but you need to sign up to Margex, where you can trade. And the reason why I like Margex is, like this Solana trade that I have, this $100,000 Solana trade, I've actually collateralized the trade with Solana. So the profit that I make, I'll get back in Solana, which is awesome. I can use my Solana to build more Solana, right? And you can access Margex from anywhere in the world. So that's what's happening with Solana. We're going to discuss a price prediction in just a second. But before we do that, Bitcoin right now struggling with our resistance, right? 66.8. Now, it's so interesting because we've had these very basic supports and resistance in for months now. Everyone tells me that you can't trade with just simple supports and resistance, but that's what I do, right? I don't have fancy things on the charts. Supports, resistance, couple of triangles, bull flags here and there. That's what I like to trade with. It's more of a long-term approach. But look at this. We had our support, we lost it, we've tried to retest it once, we're retesting it now. So what we want to see, we want to see either a break of the 66.8 so we can push upwards, or we want to see 64.6 hold. Now, we were talking about a reverse head and shoulders here on the channel, which is this, but maybe this is actually the second shoulder forming before we actually have our big break, right? We actually thought it might have been this, but that's invalidated now. But maybe this could still be the second shoulder forming. So I'm waiting to see that. Of course, we need to break 61.4 for that to be positive, and we can trade that. Now, of course, I have all of my spot positions still open right now for Bitcoin, and I'm very, very bullish on it. Now, there is one thing that has been worrying people in the market, and that is the recession, right? We have potential of rate cuts coming soon, and what happens after rate cuts normally is a recession. But, guys, look at this chart. This is the recession signal, and then followed by a blow off top in the markets every single time. So we could be seeing an exact same thing happening. We get the recession signal and then a massive blow off top, right? That could still be coming. But guys, if that happens, make sure you have your game plan set to take profits, all right? Take profits when you see them slowly. Just like we dollar cost averaged in, we want to be dollar cost averaging out. Let's hear from Raoul Pal, a reason why he's super bullish on Solana and his price prediction for where it's going to go, because I think you guys are going to be very interested in this, and it could pinpoint exactly where you might want to go out.
If Solana's at 200-ish today, right, for it to go up 100% would be, in crypto summer, would be highly unusual. At least 300% would be pretty standard. That would be ETH all-time highs versus the previous all-time highs of that high. So that will put it 600. So let's mark that as like, that's a reasonable spot. You know, if I use a few charts and a bit of, you know, log charts, I get somewhere between 800 and 1200. In a complete bubble cycle, I think it can go above 2000. In a short stunted cycle, 750, something like that. But it's still all to play for, is the point.
And there's also something else very interesting that he brings up with Solana and why he's so bullish.
Firedancer is basically a validator of Solana. It's in testnet right now. It's basically another way of accessing the Solana network. It was built by Jump Trading, which is a high-frequency trading firm that's deep into crypto. And they built it to be fast enough for high-frequency trading. High-frequency trading is basically limited. So the game in high-frequency trading is to be the fastest with seeing the order flow and putting your orders in. That uses massive fiber optic cables of the shortest possible length, because what they're using is the speed of light. So they say, well, it's impossible to do that in Ethereum or Solana or anything. So you need something that operates at a quantum change, a step change in speed. So they built a new version of Solana, which will run, which you can choose as your validator. If Solana's theoretical transactions per second is 65,000, this is theoretically 1 million. So it's like, it's an entire game change. So what does that enable? Why am I interested in it? Because things like some of the two initiatives from Solana, one was compressed NFTs, allow you to create 1 million NFTs for $100. We're seeing that on layer 2s as well, like Base, but we're not at layer 1 level. Okay, Solana's a whole different game. So that makes it very cheap. So you can use NFTs for other things, not high-end art or stuff. You can use it for tickets or whatever, high-frequency stuff. Now, if you've got a chain that operates at the speed of financial markets, well, now you can tokenize exchanges. You can put exchanges on the blockchain like NASDAQ. Okay, that gets really interesting. Now, this tech stack's not ready. It won't be this cycle, but we'll see people using this new speed and low latency for interesting stuff, and it'll build a narrative. Next cycle, we'll see the launch of stuff on it. So that's how I think about this. This is like, we've just unleashed two superpowers, and we will start to see people experimenting with it and the narrative building. Next cycle, we'll actually see projects coming out on it. But it is a game changer for the entire crypto space, and most people aren't aware of it yet.
So now that you know what he's saying, one thing I like to do, if the whole market is expecting, let's say $600 to $800 for Solana, what we can do is we can actually front run that, because it's going to be very hard to jump out right at the top. So if you're like me and you're setting up positions here, I've been dollar cost averaging into Solana on the spot market, and I also have my short-term leverage trades. But if we do get a big move upwards, I will start to take profits out at 200, at 250, at 300, 350, 400. That's where I'll be taking profits all the way up to the top. That way I average my price out all the way up. If we do get 600, 800, I will have averaged my price all the way up there, and maybe average like 400, 500. And at the time, if we're at 800 and you got 500 and you cashed out a lot at 500, you might feel a little bit stupid, but I felt, but bear in mind, I felt stupid when I sold Solana in the last bull run, when it was like 130 and then it ran up all the way to like 180. Okay, so that's the example here. With that said, hopefully I've provided some value, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.